Hi, guys. This is Betsy calling from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hi, Betsy.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Nolans, N-A-U-L-L-I-N-S, right?
Something like that.
Isn't that a great city, huh?
Well.
Yeah, well.
No?
Well, I just moved down here about 2.5 weeks ago, actually.
No
Oh,
kidding.
and if you're not thrilled about it at this point, it's only going to get worse.
Where'd you move from?
I moved here from Ferrisburg, Vermont.
And you don't think New Orleans is better than Ferrisburg, Vermont?
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't drink, and I'm a vegetarian, so there's not a lot left for me to do down here.
So what's going on?
Well, I got a big problem with my truck. I got a 1988 Toyota four-wheel drive pickup truck.
Yeah.
And drove it down here. My girlfriend and I drove it down here from Ferrisburg about 2.5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we had gotten it all ready for the trip. Actually, I'm in law school in Boston right now. I'm all over the map. But
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm down here for an internship for the winter. And before I came down here, I brought it to the most lovely mechanic in the whole world, Patrick from West Cork Auto, who I found through your show. He's
Yes.
the mechanic of a woman and her boyfriend, and the woman broke
Yes,
up with her
yes.
boyfriend.
Yeah, Patrick! Oh, buddy, Patrick!
Well, I heard about Patrick right before I moved to Boston to go to law school, and actually his shop is right down the road from where I live, and I will just affirm that he is the most wonderful, lovely man. He fixed the truck all up and, changed all the belts, hoses, everything. I should also mention, before we came down, we had almost every piece of the exhaust system replaced because it was all sort of rusted out from the Vermont salt.
Okay.
And Patrick was not the one who put the exhaust on. The exhaust was put on in Vermont, but different outfits.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
Ferris
know.
Bueller muffler and...
Yeah. So we get down here, and it took about 3 days, and the exhaust started to sort of... Something went wrong, and it started to get a little bit loud, and it got louder and louder and louder and louder. And then the following day, we pulled into the driveway of my new apartment and turned off the truck, and
The exhaust system fell on the ground.
gas started just pouring all over the driveway.
Gasoline.
And it seemed as if, my initial reaction was, oh, my God, we must have just broken a fuel line, and, what are the odds that we had this totally uneventful trip down here. As soon as we get in the driveway of my house, gas all over the place.
Yeah.
So we put a little pan under to catch all the gas, and a couple days later, I had the truck towed over to a local garage.
Good.
Well, the exhaust, the piece that went right into the manifold, 3 of the 4 screws had pulled out, and that's where the problem was. So he fixed that, and when I went to pick up the truck, he also said, "Oh, I fixed the gas leaking problem. You don't have a broken fuel line. You had some mud chiggers in the fuel line."
Huh?
Excuse me?
The diagnosis was mud chiggers in the fuel line.
Is this a New Orleans problem?
New Orleans, yeah.
What is a mud chigger?
Mud chiggers. Anyway, he cleaned that out, and he said, that's all fixed, and there's no problem with the fuel line. It's all fixed.
Yeah.
But why don't you turn the car on right here and listen to how nice the exhaust sounds? So I turned the engine over, and the exhaust sounded great, and fuel started pouring out of the bottom of the car.
Those dang mud chiggers.
Dang mud chiggers. So he said, wow, I guess it wasn't the mud chiggers.
Guess not.
I'll have to think about it more.
Yeah.
So I went back a little later, and what he said was the pressure, there's so much pressure built up in the gas tank that and at this point, there was no gas in the car, barely any, maybe 2 gallons of a 17-gallon tank.
Okay, this is beginning already. The beginning of that sentence sounds like a lot of hogwash to me. But go ahead.
Okay.
There's so much pressure in the tank.
So much. His theory is there is so much pressure in the tank that the fuel was pushing back, something like up back through the fuel line, there's a charcoal canister in there in the hood, and then out the fuel vent line. That's where the fuel was pouring out. It was pouring.
That's good.
And the deal was it was the pressure. So much pressure was doing this, and he's got to be right, because when the fuel starts pouring out, the way to stop it,
take the gas cap off.
Take the gas cap off, and a huge.
Yeah.
But he can't figure out why it's doing this and why all of a sudden. I mean, I've owned this truck for years. I've never had this problem. And now
yeah.
I'm driving around without the gas cap on.
So let me get this straight.
Yep.
You come from Ferris Bueller, Vermont, but you're going to law school in Boston.
That's right.
Where are you going, BC or BU?
I'm at Northeastern University.
Northeastern?
Yes.
And you're going for an internship for the winter
That's correct.
in New Orleans.
That's
with
correct.
a law firm, I presume.
I work for a capital defense firm. We're doing death penalty trials.
Capital offense things.
Capital defense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did anyone take the gas tank out of this for any reason?
At any time?
Ever, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm the second owner. But like I said, I mean, I've owned this truck for several years and have never had any fuel-related problems with it.
Well, I mean, the line that feeds the charcoal canister sits in the top of the tank, and that's one of the reasons, for example, they tell you when you fill up your gas tank not to top it off, because it is possible if your vehicle is inclined slightly and you put the last drop possible in the filler neck, that you can actually get gas to back up this line, which comes into the very top of the tank.
And what's supposed to go through that line is gasoline vapors.
Vapors, right.
Right. The reason I ask if the tank can be removed, it's entirely possible that somebody has crisscrossed some of the lines, because there's also a return line.
Yeah, but I mean,
wouldn't I
she
have had a
drove
problem
down
before
from
this, though?
Ferris Bueller, Vermont.
Ferrisburg.
Ferrisburg, Vermont.
Yeah, the crisscross answer sounds about as good as a mud chigger.
That'll be enough of that. You won't be on Stump the Chumps, I'll guarantee you that.
You know, you don't get to pick stuff.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't do it.
But we can use mud chiggers for a lot of. I mean, we don't use choke pull off anymore.
No, we can't.
Mud chiggers in the fuel
Mud
line.
chiggers.
I mean, I can't think of anything that would make pressure build up in the gas tank.
Well, I think what he has to do is he has to go back to the source. The gasoline we know is coming from what? The tank.
Yeah, but how is it getting to the canister from the tank if there's only a gallon of gas in the tank?
Something is haywire.
Boy.
Well, he just has no idea how to proceed.
He's got to drop the tank. He's got to drop the tank and take out.
Drop the tank.
Yeah, he's got to take
It's not
out.
that hard.
No, it's easy.
Don't get nervous.
And it's be easy. There's no gas in it.
Yeah.
He's going to take the tank out, and he's going to look at the unit that plugs into the top of the tank. There's a unit that's held on by like 6 or 8 little screws that houses the fuel sending unit and these vent tubes. And I think when he takes this thing out, he's going to say, oh, my God, how the heck did that happen? And I don't know what he's going to see, but somehow he's going to figure out that a tube has fallen into some place where it's allowing gas to be pumped up through the vent.
Well,
does this happen every time you run the engine now?
Well, now I just drive it around with the gas cap off, or actually it can be on as long as it's very, very, very.
But when you took that gas cap off the first time,
you
got positive pressure coming out. You felt
yes.
It wasn't coming. It wasn't sucking air in. It was pushing stuff out.
Well, it sounded like it was. I mean, I didn't feel it, but it was that.
Oh, you didn't feel it.
The pressure release sound.
Well, yeah, but it could be either way, because it would be a lot easier to believe vacuum than it is to believe pressure.
Have him drop the tank. I'm telling you, the problem's in the tank.
Yeah.
In the tank.
The return line is restricted somehow.
Right. That was the mud chigger theory.
Because coming off the fuel rail is a return line that dumps gasoline back into the tank.
Okay.
How would that cause vacuum?
It's causing vacuum, not pressure. It's causing too much vacuum.
How would it do that?
I don't know. Well, because here's what's happening. Here's what's happening.
I don't know either.
Here's what's happening.
What?
The engine is running.
Yeah.
Gasoline. Let's assume the gas cap is on.
Yeah.
Gasoline is being pumped by the fuel pump from the tank
to the engine.
Right. There's no return line.
Right.
And let's assume that
so the gas has no place to go.
No place to go.
Because the mud chiggers are still in that line.
And what's happening then?
How they got in there, God only knows.
No, we don't know. Maybe it's a crimped line.
But the fuel now, we have excess fuel.
Which can't go anyplace.
Can't go anywhere, but so it's trying to get to the canister.
No, it can't get to the canister.
I said it's trying to get to the canister. We've got to come up with a route.
But we are creating suction in the tank.
And there's no return line.
Somehow the canister is acting as a siphon. It's pulling gas up the walls of the tank by capillary action.
If only we had stayed in class that day.
If only I knew my geometry better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Betsy, good grief. This is a real puzzler.
Well, you guys want to, continue with your show and just call me back sometime?
Yeah. All right.
We'll talk. Have your people call our people.
We're men of science. And there's no one who knows pressure and vacuum better than we are.
Oh, almost anybody could.
No, I mean, how many times you've been called an airhead?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that what that means?
Yeah.
A master of pressure and vacuum.
Right.
This will come to us.
All right, then.
Wow.
Sit by the phone.
Right on, I will.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Gee, I wish we had an answer
Hey,
for her, but
you know what it's time for?
time to launch our New York Senate bid?
No. It's time to play Stump the Chumps. This is the part of the show where we bring back a person to whom we previously gave wrong advice.
The purpose being what?
To prove to the world that we really do know something about
Is
cars.
there a second purpose or a second choice
To
here?
kill a few minutes in the middle of the show.
Good. Okay, who's this week's contestant?
Well, according to the little notes I have here, it's Betsy, who's originally from Ferrisburg, Vermont, but drove to New Orleans and found that gasoline kept pouring out of her 88 Toyota pickup truck. And I mean pouring out.
Oh, this is the mud chigger lady
That's her.
from Ferris Bueller, Vermont. I remember her mechanic was trying to convince her that she had these little things called mud chiggers obstructing her fuel line, and that was causing pressure to build up and gasoline to pour out.
Mud chiggers.
I like it.
Yeah.
You can actually get gas to back up this line, which comes into the very top of the tank.
And what's supposed to go through that line is gasoline vapors.
Vapors, right.
Right. The reason I ask if the tank can be removed, it's entirely possible that somebody has crisscrossed some of the lines, because there's also a return line.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, wouldn't I
she
have had a
drove
problem
down
before
from
this, though?
Ferris Bueller, Vermont.
Ferrisburg.
Ferrisburg, Vermont.
Yeah, the crisscross answer sounds about as good as a mud chigger.
That'll be enough.
All right. All right, here's how we left it. Since her mechanic had checked practically the entire fuel system already, we told Betsy that our best guess was that it had to be a problem inside the tank. That was safe.
Yeah.
And that the mechanic was going to have to drop the gas
I
tank
remember this.
and see if there was some kind of obstruction or misconnected tubing inside the tank.
Oh, like a mud chigger colony?
Betsy, are you there?
Yes, guys, I'm here. How you
All
doing?
right. Now, before you tell us what happened, we must first ascertain that the testimony you're about to give is in no way influenced by our staff, the staff of National Public Radio, or the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Mud Chiggers.
Is that
Is
true?
that true, Betsy?
I think I can testify truthfully to that.
Okay. And do you still have the problem?
No, the problem has been cured.
Oh, my God.
And?
How?
And
It was the mud
I hate
chiggers.
to break it to you, but you were wrong. I'm sorry.
Why am I not surprised at this one?
Well, so I returned to him with my notes on your advice and asked him if he would drop the tank, and pretty much he refused to do
Good.
it.
That was good.
He wouldn't do it. And I mean, there was nothing I could do to get him to do it. And in fact, I've never had this happen before, but he pretty much just admitted defeat and gave up.
Really?
And
Oh, so he didn't refuse to do it because he thought we were just a couple of complete wackos.
he
He
has
just
no
threw up
idea
his
what it
hands.
was.
Yeah.
So I went to his next door neighbor, guy called, believe it or not, a mechanic called Duty, and a great guy with just a wonderful temperament, wonderful sense of humor. And I came in and explained the problem to him. And as I was explaining it to him, he had his aide start typing things into his computer. He says his $20,000 computer that he never diagnoses a problem without consulting first. So I thought that was a good sign.
Karnak,
Liked it.
the
Very
computer.
high tech.
The Oracle, yeah.
He saw the truck the very next day and immediately repaired it, and it is fixed.
What did he repair?
The problem was a defective evaporative
emissions canister.
Emission control canister.
Yeah, well, that was,
Which I had actually had mentioned to you guys, and you said, no, that's not it.
Well,
and we sort of skipped right over it.
well,
Boy, oh boy.
It was the canister, the charcoal canister under the hood.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with the charcoal
fuel vapors.
I'm very familiar with it. And, I sincerely hope that the problem doesn't return.
I hope it doesn't as well.
Well, Betsy, thanks for playing Stump the Chumps and making us look like a couple of chumps.
Well, Duty did great.
Fools.
Duty is the man. I highly recommend him.
But call us back if the problem returns. So
wait, don't we want one of those computers?
I want one of those computers. It's great.
I have one. It doesn't help.
It's like the magic oracle. It was
wow.
great.
I love it.
He was so confident. But, yeah, I have some concerns that the problem is going to return because when I open up, now when I open up that
gas cap,
boy, is the pressure blowing out of there. I mean, really is making
Well, if the problem
some noise.
does come back, you must call us and let us know to find out if my brother was completely wrong when he dismissed it. Because he may not have been.
All right. Well, does that mean you'll look at the truck when it's back in Boston?
Yes. This may be a temporary fix.
Okay.
See you, Betsy.
Thank you guys very much for your help.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.